Hey everybody, what's going on? What's going on? This is Wani with Zima 360 Wellness. And to my people on Instagram, unfortunately, I won't be able to broadcast on Instagram. So you need to jump on over to my Facebook page. Excuse me, you can either go to Colin Wanjiru or you can go to the Zima 360 Wellness Facebook page where you can see the interview that I'll be doing. And I will give a couple of minutes for some people to join in. But we will be talking this evening about all things cannabis business since, 420 is in a couple of days. So give me a couple of minutes. Let's let some people join into the chat. Okay, we can go ahead and get started and people jump in and feel free to comment. So this evening, as I said, because 420 is coming up in a couple of days, I felt like in the community of color, I feel like a lot of people don't take the cannabis business seriously, like it's a good business opportunity. So I wanted to go ahead and talk to someone that's in the industry that's not necessarily a dispensary owner or someone selling directly, but has an ancillary business that works with the plant, but not necessarily selling directly. So we have Mr. Mercutio Moore, and his business is called Gas Guide. So I am going to let him tell you basically what the business is about, and if you can explain why you got into this particular stream of the cannabis business.
All right, well, thank you for having me on. My name is Mercutio Moore. I am CEO of Gas Guide. It is a majority minority owned third party delivery service licensed in Maryland. What we provide is delivery services from, say, business to business, say from a grower or a edible manufacturer to the dispensary. And we also provide delivery service from the dispensary to the customer.
Okay.
We got into this business because, obviously we love cannabis and we love the opportunities that it brings. We feel that there, just like everything else, all your food, everything is, has a delivery component.
Mm-hmm.
Go pick up your food at, Wegmans or Giant or Safeway, or you can, for a fee, relax at your couch and somebody will bring it to you.
Okay.
Our goal with Gas Guide is to fill that need on the business consumer side. We also are well aware that third-party delivery, secure delivery, which basically means, okay, I'm a dispensary and I need somebody to go pick up, XYZ for me.
Mm-hmm.
They do that safely, securely, and professionally.
Okay.
And feel that that we put in the time to understand that market and to be able to do it successfully.
Okay, cool. So, do you have any special delivery services for maybe immobile people that with disabilities, or is that something that's just kind of all thrown into one?
It's kind of all thrown into one, but it is something that we addressed in our business plan.
Okay.
Funding, and we want to serve, maybe people who can't get around as well.
Right.
We also want to serve communities that may not have 15 quality dispensaries on their street.
Exactly.
But we want to, we're trying to cover all of our bases with Gas Guide.
Okay. Okay. How long have you been in the business?
I've been in the business for about 7-8 years, operating under the I-71 law.
Okay.
That kind of gave us the experience that we needed to start Gas Guide.
Now, for the people that don't know, can you say what the I-71 law is? Because that's out of DC, correct?
That's out of DC.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. It's very complicated. It's very complicated, and I don't want to get myself in any trouble on here. Let's just say it's gifting. You
Oh, okay.
gift the product, and then with that gift, it comes with a free, uh, like say a T-shirt. You can gift a cannabis product with it.
Got you. Okay. I got you. Okay. So that was kind of the way to get your foot in the door, basically. And then like, so on the Maryland side, we didn't have the I-71. So did you find it difficult to get into the industry, like getting licensing and things like that?
The licensing portion wasn't as difficult as I thought, but it's
Hmm.
steps you have to go through, background check, um,
Hmm.
your business, you got to submit your social and all that, and and if you go through all the steps, it really wasn't that difficult or cost prohibitive.
Really? Okay, because that's one of the things that people always talk about as far as getting into the industry as a business person, the prohibitive cost of like the startup, right? So something that you're doing is a delivery business. I would imagine you just basically need, vehicles or whatever, and the personnel. But did you run into any challenges, financially, legally, payment processing, things like that?
We are fighting challenges every single day.
Okay, okay.
And that is one of the things when I was brainstorming this interview that I was
Hmm.
sure that I got across was um, it's not easy. It's still a business. And the I guess when you decide to get a license and you take things to that level,
Hmm.
you're taking it to a notch where, uh, yeah, it's much more difficult, much more tedious. You want to be on point.
Hmm.
If you believe in whatever you're doing, you want to dot all your I's and cross your T's because this could be
Okay.
an opportunity.
Do you find that the risk is worth the reward? Like, has it been rewarding for you? And by rewarding, I mean financially.
Gas guy, it has been emotionally rewarding, but we just received our license, so we haven't done any deliveries as of yet. Uh,
Okay.
Speaking of, Washington D.C., I would say it's going pretty well, but I'm
Okay.
painting a picture of rainbows. Um, it's still a lot of it's still a lot of things that you have to concern yourself with:
Hmm.
safety, security, and honestly, operating in a gray market. You never
Right.
fully sleep good at night. Operating in a gray market. At least I never did.
Okay. Now, do you see, well, basically, what do you think about legalization, like federal legalization coming? Do you think it's coming soon and that's gonna basically open up the opportunities, or do you see it taking a lot longer?
I believe even long before federal legalization, just recreational legalization in Maryland is going to be huge. Um, fourth consumes the fourth most cannabis in all the states. Maryland comes in number four. Um,
Hmm.
a big state. And so, what do we got? I think 4 million. Don't quote me on it, but it's up there. We got a lot of people here, a lot of economic centers, a lot of density. There's plenty of room for entrepreneurs to spread out, and
Okay.
you got a chance. And that's all basically, if you're an entrepreneur, all
Right.
you ask for is a chance. There's no guarantee that it's going to be successful. And
Hmm.
it's going to be whatever you decide, there's going to be competition. And you
Okay.
have to be okay with that. Uh,
Hmm.
and honestly, I believe, especially these first few years, there's room for a lot of people to do
Right.
whatever it is you're into. Now is probably the time. At least we at Gas Guide, we feel now is the time to jump out there and
Put your roots out. Or
right.
put your roots down, like get in there now. So I agree with you on that. Like that was one of the reasons that I wanted to have this conversation, because again, I feel like it's like when liquor was legalized back after Prohibition, that opened the floodgates for people to build wealth off of this product that everyone wants, right? Everybody wants to be happy. Weed is, it's a relaxing type of situation there. So I feel like it can be lucrative. And I feel like we already have been in it in the illicit market. We the ones that, kind of made it what is the word? I guess acceptable or cool or whatever you want to call it. I feel like now we need to capitalize off of it. So, but that, again, that's why I wanted to have this conversation, because I still feel that a lot of us don't take it seriously because we still have the stigma that it's not a healing plant or it's not something that's necessary. But I mean, I feel like I can also, you see it as a business opportunity.
I would tell anybody that, and this is just my personal perspective, I believe this is the biggest opportunity probably in 100 years.
Yeah.
Pretty much like you said, like you mentioned, you go into the liquor store, when I go in, all I see, when I see different bottles, I see somebody 10, 15, 20 years ago, a group of people, a group of friends, or a family that just said, you know what, I'm going to start this thing called Hennessy, I guess.
Right.
Here we are, decades later, and they're a billion-dollar company.
Exactly.
And always starts somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
What I like about cannabis is that there's so many directions you can go. People first, they think about the dispensary, and I get that. I get that opportunities there. But there's so many possibilities if you keep your mind open. Like, there's so many different businesses you can start where, other than a dispensary, other than a grower, other than an edible shop.
Right.
That people think of, but they don't understand that there's a whole lot of little industries within the industry that people are making millions, nice and quiet.
Right.
Quiet.
Like, can you give some examples of something other than delivery and edibles and stuff like that? Like, I don't know, recycling, packaging, things like that.
Absolutely. We can start with trimming.
Okay.
I can tell anybody listening here firsthand, a trimmer does not want to sit there for hours trimming pounds and pounds of flower. They'll pay you if you do it right and do it good. They'll pay you almost whatever you want. If you're available and you do it and everything is there's a good relationship. A grower that's actually growing, cannabis and making money,
right?
He'll pay somebody just to trim his flowers $100,000 a year.
Wow. This is good knowledge right here. I didn't even know that was a job. I thought only dispensaries had trimmers. I didn't know that, the grower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Growers usually might have a trimmer. Also, you have a bagger. Like, you're dealing with thousands of bags that need to be stuffed, and the dispensary might do it, but it also bring you on to help you, to help do it, to do it for them, and worth their time to just contact to, hey, I got, such and such amount of flour, I need it bagged up, boom, here's $2,000, $3,000, $5,000.
Wow.
And it takes 2-3 days, but what if it's you and a family member or a brother and a sister or a wife? That's your own little, your own little enterprise in the business, nice and quiet, and you can make well into 6 figures, and you never got involved with selling anything. And that could probably work under your processing license.
Is that a okay, so would that be something you can contract out to do as a private person, or have your own, like you just said, processing license? So you still have to have a processing license to offer your services as a trimmer or a bagger?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Social media.
Okay.
To the younger crowd. A lot of us, my age bracket, and I'm just speaking for my group, we're into cannabis and whatnot, but we don't know anything about TikTok. and we don't make that good of IG videos, and we don't know much about, but we'll pay somebody to
Mm-hmm.
handle that for us.
Right. I
Yeah.
got you. I do the same thing. So okay. So yeah, the social media lane is another good lane to get into.
So
You could,
your examples.
mhm,
And then you got your standard ones, like a good edible chef is hard to find
mhm,
locally. That's the thing. We're in a transition where people aren't necessarily getting their edibles from other places anymore.
right.
You know, local DMV chefs and creative people, they're starting to come up with their own lollipops and
Hmm. Right.
cakes and brownies, and there's a huge room for it because we're at the bottom floor. Um,
Right.
we're literally in the beginning. So
Right.
I'm just using this as an example. You could walk into a dispensary right now, and maybe he doesn't have somebody, he or she doesn't have somebody that um, does their gummies,
Right.
CBD, or their baked brownies, or whatever the situation may be.
Hmm.
So you gotta get out there and shake hands, and maybe you bump into somebody and you tell them, "Hey, this is what I do, whether it be trimming or bagging or whatever."
Right.
Jump
You
out.
just basically get out there and network and find those opportunities.
Right, exactly, which is what we did. Like we're on this
Right.
at a
Yeah.
network. We met each other, and I've met,
Right. And the T-pad that was a good networking opportunity. So have you been to, well, what other things have you been to? Like I used to go to Canada and like I said, a couple of the different festivals. So have you been to the Cannabis Science Conference?
I have not. That's probably gonna be on my list.
Yeah,
Um,
I went a couple of years and I went again because it was just interesting to see the science side. Like, and that's why I say this is a legitimate business because when I went, all I see is, white scientists and consultants and all these people that are poised to blow up when everything goes legal. And I don't see any of us. And I'm like, why is that? We need to get in where we fit in. So yeah. Thank
piggyback.
you, Ari. Shout out to some people just joined it. By the way, anybody on on Instagram, like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, unfortunately, I can't broadcast from this platform onto Instagram. So you can jump over to my Facebook page and follow me on Colin Wanjiru or also on the Zima 360 Wellness page, and then you'll be able to see Mercutio and myself. Um, but yeah, and thank you, Ari, for the comment. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, okay. So I think I had a couple more questions for you. Well, you kind of just gave the answer to this, the advice for the new entrepreneurs. Um, oh, well, what do you think about how recreation will affect the medical side of it? Because right now, the whole thing in Maryland is um, cannabis is medicine. That's how it kind of got in to be legalized. But I feel like once recreation comes into play, I think it's going to kind of minimize what medical people can get. Like brains might get, I don't know, watered down. They already excluded the edibles. So, like how do you think that's going to work? Right. Yeah.
Um, I personally think that the medical part is gonna
Mhm.
really start declining because it's gonna be there because if I'm understanding the regs properly, and please don't quote me, I'm not an expert on the regs. A certain
Mhm.
amount, there has to be certain provisions for the medical inside of a dispensary. There has to
Mhm.
be provisions for patients, tax free. So it will help. So let me say that I believe it will help the medical folks.
Okay. Okay. I hope so. I just feel like I hope it doesn't kind of push the medical stuff under the rug because there are people that really need this. Like people definitely need RSO, different patients and whatnot. So, but I did notice they kept the caregiver program, which I'm a part of. So I feel like, and from what I understand, if you have a medical license after July 1st, your the medical people's cannabis will be a little bit cheaper because it won't be taxed like the recreational one. So that is a good, I guess that's a good benefit.
I mean, if
So,
you can save 9% on your purchase and you're spending hundreds of dollars, that's
yes,
a lot of money.
that is a lot of money. Yeah, that is. So yeah, and if you need it for medicine, like you might not be able to afford the taxes. So that does make sense. And I also think they're partnering with people for low income. I thought there was going to be some kind of program or fund put in place for that, but yeah, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Let me see. And I guess to kind of wrap it up here, do you celebrate 420 in any special way?
Not any special way. I've been in this for so long, 7 days a week, 20.
This is regular.
But I love the holiday, and I think, I'm very thankful that I have this opportunity to
Right.
even the chance. Again,
Hmm.
I fully embrace the fact that people start businesses every day and
Hmm.
don't make it. And maybe it had nothing to do with you. Maybe you did everything right. Maybe and the cards, didn't, fall in your favor. But
Hmm.
I believe that with the legalization that's coming in DC and Maryland and eventually Virginia, I believe it's an excellent opportunity to take advantage of. Can I touch on something as far as people of color?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I would like to implore my people, please get involved.
Yeah.
Um, come, but come. I don't want to say ready for war, but we're talking billions of dollars here,
Right.
all over the country
Hmm.
that want Baltimore, that want PG County.
Right.
You're meeting them. I'm meeting them. They're not
Mhm.
from here. These people you're meeting,
Nope.
they're not from
They're
here.
from out of town with deep pockets.
And that's what they have. One of the things I wanted to make sure I shared as far as pockets, that was one of the things we didn't touch on.
Hmm.
Um, if I were to tell anybody that happened to see this, I would say focus on your personal credit
Okay.
because that may be enough
Hmm.
for funding you need. If you can get a couple credit cards together, $50,000, you can make something happen with $50,000, and you don't have
Hmm.
perfect credit to get that. You can go to a
Right.
local bank, shout out to my partner Calvin who's guiding us through this. But one of your questions was, financial difficulties, and that's usually one of the biggest hurdles.
Right.
Me and my partners, we don't have the same amount of financial you know, resources that some of our competitors and people coming out of state have,
Hmm.
or even some of our local folks. But you don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars to get your foot into the door. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Right. And so with the delivery business, that's like I said, that's kind of low overhead type thing. So it was easier, it was less expensive to start up. Is that one of the things that caused you to go in that direction?
It's I don't know. It's somewhat less expensive. It is
Hmm.
somewhat less expensive, and the overhead is lower. Obviously you're not paying rent, but you
Hmm.
have on the other side a whole list of other concerns. You want to make sure you have insurances. In Maryland, you have to pretty much buy the car, or at least or you really, you can't just hand somebody something and tell them to go deliver it. The state of
Right.
know who picked it up, who dropped it off, and so on.
Hmm.
So yeah, and cars can get expensive as they go. So I don't know how much. Yeah, we'll be able. Yeah, yeah. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Okay. Well, you have definitely given some good information. I appreciate that. I had one question about, like I said, payment processing. Has it gotten easier since you started, or have you not had an issue with that?
I haven't. We haven't got that far. We just received our license. About a.
Oh, okay.
We're not. We haven't done any deliveries yet.
Hmm.
we're hoping, we're in contact with payment processors now.
Hmm.
The dispensary should be able to accept payment
Okay.
from a
Okay.
patient
Mhm.
or recreational customer. They should be able to set some kind of payment up through their system.
Okay. And you don't have to worry about that. That's between the patient and dispensary. You're just getting paid by the dispensary.
Exactly.
That's perfect. So you eliminated all the drama right there. So that was a good thing. Um, I think, yeah, that's about it. That's pretty much all I have for you. I really appreciate you coming on here today. You gave us some really good information because I did not know anything about the trimming and the packing. Like that's some good stuff right there. That and it's pretty viable for people to get in, get their foot in the door. So,
Yes.
you know. And as far as the edibles, like that was how I got my foot in the door. So that's what kind of caused me. And like I said, when I got in and I don't see a lot of us in that space, I had to wonder. So,
I feel good though. I think that there are a lot of African Americans that I've bumped into that are putting their foot in the door and they're
mhm,
solid businesses. Um,
okay,
so don't worry. Don't worry. We coming.
they coming, right? I'm with you, and I'm trying to make it happen. I'm trying to come out there too. We all gonna be up in that space. We gonna make a name for ourselves out there. They gonna know. I can't let what's that Reginald Lewis, he had that book called You Can't Let All the White Guys Have All the Fun. You remember that book?
I didn't read that one, but I got your point.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm on right now. We can't let them have all the fun. I need to get a piece of this pie. So, and I'd like to bring my people along with me. So yeah. But on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it on up. And again, I thank you very much. You enjoy your 420, you enjoy the festival, and I'm thinking I might dip out there with a little non-VIP ticket, just come in and out and see who's out there. But as we said, I'm too old to be standing there for all the hours waiting around to see 2 Chains.
Well, shoot me an email when you're coming into the city. Might have a little something for you.
Oh, I absolutely will. Well, see, now I'm gonna definitely come to the city. I'm gonna send you an email on that, definitely.
All right.
But all right, Michelle, thank you so much, and we will chat soon.
I'd love to come back on. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're gonna talk about the next subject matter, okay? Because we're gonna get into the politics of it and the people of color and the expungement and all of that. So we're gonna come back for that conversation.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right, bye-bye. All right, y'all. I'm out. Next time, we're going to talk more cannabis for the month of April, and I will see you next Tuesday. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in.